This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Good morning, friends. In this BA Master program, in today's session, we'll talk about how to implement nested for each pipeline and append a date to all files in a storage using master-child pipeline relation. So this is one of the scenario-based lab, basically. So multiple scenarios will be covered in this also. I'll tell you. So first important thing is you need to understand the what we are planning to do in today. Okay. So let me explain to you. One second. I'll explain to you here. So this is what I am planning to do. Okay. So let's imagine there is a data lake storage Gen2 storage. In data lake storage Gen2 storage, I have a raw folder. Under raw folder, I have cust folder, employee folder, and transaction folder. Now, when I have a cust folder, employee folder, transaction folder, all these are a subfolders. Okay, let's imagine. So I'll tell you a simple example. Try to understand. So this raw, okay, this is a raw means this entire thing is called a raw. Okay, this entire thing is called a raw. Okay, under raw folder you will have entire thing. You consider this raw is nothing but a entire box. Okay, chocolate box you can consider. In the chocolate box you have a chocolate packets. Chocolate packet is nothing but a cust is a one chocolate packet. Don't disturb friends. Sai. So there is a chocolate box. Rye is nothing but a chocolate box. Let's imagine. Under chocolate box, we have a chocolate packets. Cust is a one chocolate packet. Employee is a one chocolate packet. So transaction is one chocolate packet. Now, under chocolate packets, what we will have chocolates. 1, 2, 3 chocolates are there under this chocolate packet. So in this chocolate packet, we have a 2 chocolates. In this chocolate packet, we have a 2 more chocolates. Cleared all of you? Now this is the box. Okay, again I'm explaining to you. This is the raw folder. Under raw folder, under raw box, you have a subfolders called cust, emp, transaction. Under cust folder, you are going to upload cust1.csv, cust2.csv, cust3.csv. Under emp, you are going to upload emp1.csv, emp2.csv. Under transaction folder, you are going to take the files trans1.csv, trans2.csv. Cleared all of you? Everybody understood the structure? Okay. Now my first question is, my goal is to copy all the files that are there in a cust, emp, transaction. So the files that you have in this, each folder, I have a files. So I need to read each file in each folder and copy into the target. Okay, copy into the target. Let's say I want to copy like this. Let me tell you how you want to copy it. Maybe I want to copy into the same storage. Okay, in same storage I want to copy like this in the refined container. Okay, this output. Let's imagine this is a raw, this is a refined, this is the input, this is output. In output also I need to create a same cust folder. Under cust folder, when I am loading cust1.csv, for each file I want to add today date. For each file I want to add today date. What is today date? 2022-06-24. So cust1.csv, for that I need to assign cust1 2022-06-24.csv. For cust2 2022-06-24.csv. So year, month, day I will append, I will copy into the target. I will copy into the target. Cleared all of you? So like that I want to. When you have a raw folder, under raw you have a multiple folders. So from multiple folders you need to read the files and copy into the target. So now what is the approach you people will follow? How you will design a pipeline now? So I'm going to ask you now how you can design the pipeline with the current knowledge. Can somebody tell me?
We'll create the storage, and with the dynamic parameters, we'll pass in the date.
We can have a config table which will write the source blob folder names and the target container name, and in the ADF while writing we can append date with using date parameter after the source container name.
We can take a metadata table with cust and then and also all the three CSV files, EMP2 files. Like that, we can create a metadata. Write two queries, one for each, one lookup, where a distinct one column will the distincts will be cust EMP transaction, and then in the another for each we have to query with the lookup first cust what are the subfolders in it. So like that we can do it.
Sorry, I was in mute. What I am asking is, what all columns you want to include in the metadata? What all columns you want to include in metadata, I'm saying. Just a folders. What folder names you will give? Cust. So ra/cust/cust1.csv, ra/cust/cust2.csv. Are you going to put like that?
Sorry, just
No,
EMP
just the
transfer.
raw.
Hmm?
Just the raw, because lookup will bring all the details.
How lookup will bring all the details if you simply give the raw?
No, lookup will bring just the cust EMP and transaction detail, and within for each we can have a get metadata, which will bring the file names within that. So we can retrieve file name from that.
Okay, fine. Some extent, okay, good. Next. Okay, fine. See, you need to think on the design part, very important. Okay. So now what I said, raw is considered as a one. Raw you can consider as a one chocolate box. In chocolate box, you have what? Chocolate packets. Now, if somebody, I need a person, I need a activity which can give me one by one chocolate packet. Which activity will work?
Get metadata.
Get metadata, lookup for each. So which activity? Finalize please quickly.
For each.
One by one chocolate packet. Who will give? For each activity. Okay, very good. Now I want to give one by one chocolate. Who will work? Which activity can able to give one by one chocolate?
One more for each.
Again, one more for each. Very good. Okay, that is what we need to understand. Now let me tell you. See, let's imagine what I am going to do is I will point to first get metadata activity. I will take. In this get metadata activity, I will give my chocolate box. Chocolate box means I'll select the raw folder in the data set. I will ask the child items. Child items means open the chocolate box, meaning open the raw folder, check the subfolders that you have, check the chocolate packets that you have. How many chocolate packets we have? Cust, EMP, transaction. In our case, there are 3 different folders we have, or you can say 3 different chocolate packets we have. Now I need to take these chocolate packets one by one and give it to the inner activity. So who can able to take all these chocolate packets? Who can give one by one chocolate? Who can able to take all these chocolate packets and give one by one chocolate packet for each activity? Okay, so this is a for each activity. Basically, get metadata opened the chocolate box and it has taken all the chocolate packets out. Okay, so all these chocolate packets it is passing to the for each. What for each will do? Inside for each, I will use one more get metadata activity. So to this get metadata activity, I will give first chocolate packet. What I'm giving? First chocolate packet I'm giving. Here in this get metadata, I have given chocolate box. So when I have given box, it has given packets. Now I'm giving packet. What it will give? What this get metadata will give?
File
Chocolates.
names.
Okay. Yes, exactly. So when you give the folder names, this get metadata will give the file names. So these file names I need to take one by one and I need to iterate through. So what I need again?
For each.
Okay. So inside for each, I can simply use copy activity, which is basically going to copy all the files into the target with the appended date. But this approach will not work in the Azure Data Factory. So that's why I clearly mentioned won't work in ADF. What is not going to work in ADF is for each inside for each will not work. One for each is there. Under that for each, another for each, if you want to use, that will not work in the Azure Data Factory. Now, what is the solution? How we can achieve this scenario? That is our goal for today. So first thing is everybody understood what we have discussed as of now, or anybody is not clear? So simply I'm explaining again. See, this get metadata activity is going to check all the files, all the folders that we have under a RAW. Under RAW, you have a subfolders called cust.emp. So it gives the subfolders one by one. So take the subfolder name and check the files in it. Once you get the files in it, first to take a cust folder, take the files in the cust, give it to the for each. This for each will give the customer files, cust1.csv, cust2.csv, one by one to the copy activity. This copy activity will copy. Once this is done, next EMP folder you give it to the get metadata. It takes the files that are there under EMP folder, and that file list it will pass it to the for each. For each will give one by one employee files to the copy activity. This copy activity is going to copy the data. But the problem here what we are facing is for each inside another for each is not going to work in the Azure Data Factory. Clear? Any questions still here? Very important. Any questions still here?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Everybody is clear? If anybody have any question, please let me know, because if you're not able to understand this, you'll not understand anything else. That's why I'm requesting. If anybody is not able to understand, let me know. I can explain multiple times. No problem at this time. Again, after
Once
30
can you
minutes.
repeat, Malay?
Yes, don't ask. Okay, I'm repeating. See, simple example I'll tell you. What get metadata do is get metadata give you the child items. Child items means suppose in a folder you may have a subfolder, you may have a files. You want to take everything that is there in the root folder. Root folder here is I am talking about the raw folder. Under raw folder, I created a 3 subfolders called cust.emp and transaction. Okay, the first get metadata is going to give me the subfolders that are there under a raw folder. Under raw, you have a cust.emp and transaction. Then I am passing those folder names to the for each activity. What this for each is going to do? What this for each is going to do? This for each will take all these folders, give one by one folder to the inner activity. Inside again, I'll take a cust folder. I'll take the list of files. I'll take a list of files. That list of files I'll pass it to the for each. For each takes one by one file, it will give it to the copy activity. This copy activity is going to copy one by one file. Clear? Any questions? Sai, who is SA here? Get
Clear.
full name.
Clear.
Who is SA? SA means? Who is SA? Who asked the question now? What's your name?
Santosh, Malaya.
Santosh, okay, because I'm seeing only SA here. Okay, fine. Santosh.
Let me correct.
Malaya, this is Satya. So just maybe I am not familiar in this area, but the question is like how the for each will come to know whether it is a folder or file.
Doesn't
That is the
matter
question.
to it.
Okay.
Doesn't matter to it. See here, you need how you are going to use. If it is a file, the usage will be different. If it is a folder, the usage will be different. You are going to use, if it is a folder, you are going to use it differently. If it is a file, you are going to use it differently. If it is just a number, you are going to use it differently. For each job is, you give 10 chocolates, it give you one chocolate. You give 10 chocolate packets, one chocolate packet it will give you. Okay, got it? Simple.
Do we have any written variable or something to determine whether it's a file or it's a folder or something like that?
In the get metadata, when it is giving the folder names, so child item type is folder. If it is EMP, type is folder. If it is a file, type is file, it will give you. That we will see today. Okay, when I'm explaining lab, you will come to the each and everything you will be able to see. Yes, when this get metadata is written something, it will tell you this cust is a file or folder. That information also it will tell you. Clear?
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Next. Okay, I'm just moving to the now how we can able to make sure this approach I need to work. What is the other approach? The other approach I'll tell you. You create a one pipeline called master pipeline. In this master pipeline, okay, now Prudhir, tell me what our first get metadata activity is going to do.
You will extract the folders, sir.
Yeah, it extracts the folders that are there under raw folder. Okay, very good. Now Prudhir, I need to give all these folder names, all these items to the next activity. What is the next activity which is going to iterate through these items?
For each, in under for each.
What is the dynamic content you will write to pass these items to the for each activity? You want to pass? Yes, please go on.
Get metadata. Okay.
At the rate activity of get metadata activity dot output dot, here you see there is a key child items. You are seeing, right? Child items. Okay,
Yes,
so that is what I'm going to put here. You see activity of get metadata dot output dot child items. When I say that, this entire item, okay, name and type both will be available at the for each. Now for each inside another for each is going to work in ADF or not? No.
No.
Okay, I'll show you. No. You remember? No. Okay. Now, which activity I am using?
For each.
Execute pipeline.
No. Inside for each, what I am using?
Execute pipeline.
Execute pipeline.
Execute pipeline activity I am using. Let's say you have given a three subfolders. You have given these three subfolders to the for each activity. Now for each is going to call one by one value to the inner activity called execute pipeline activity. Now can you tell me how many times execute pipeline activity is going to execute? Prudhvi.
And it will execute 3 times, sir, because the 3 folders are there.
Rija, how many times, Rija?
Trust an employee 2 times, sir.
Okay, here, okay, very good. So you just focused on here. Okay, fine. So here cust and EMP 2 times. Okay, fine. Next, Jamal, how many times?
It will be only 2 times, Mr. Malay, as per your presentation, as per my understanding.
Okay, good. Okay, so as per this output, 2 times. But we discussed the 3 folders, cust, EMP, transaction. In that case, 3 times. Okay, very good. Very good. Okay. Now, anybody have any idea what is execute pipeline activity can do?
This can execute another pipeline.
All of you clear? It basically calls, it execute another pipeline. What is the pipeline that you want to execute is, I want to create a same structure, another pipeline called sub pipeline, child pipeline. So in this child pipeline, I am going to call it from the execute pipeline. How many times this child pipeline will be called?
One time, sir.
2 times as per the presentation. Let's go with the presentation 2 times. General my discussion 3 times, but don't confuse because let's not confuse. Let's go simply with the presentation. In the presentation, there are 2 items. So that's why execute pipeline activity will be called 2 times, which means that child pipeline will be called 2 times. All of you clear? Now, so when the child pipeline you are executing, any idea what is the value you are going to pass it to the child pipeline? What you are going to pass it to the child pipeline? Any idea?
Folder name.
We'll pass the folders.
Folder name. Okay. For each is having this item. For each is having this item. So what value you will pass it to the sub pipeline? First time you will pass cust. How will pass? Item dot name. If you give this cust will go and that value will be passed to this. First time what you are passing? Cust. Once the entire execution happened here, whatever design you have done, entire execution is completed for the cust. Next, for each is going to give which folder?
EMP.
EMP folder.
Next, item dot name means next in this item dot name is nothing but a EMP. That EMP will be passed to the child pipeline. How to pass? We are going to learn. But try to understand theoretically. Then we do practicals. Once you understand the things, doing lab is easy. Okay. Now, so in get metadata, now first time, what is the value we have here? So under get metadata, see here you just have a raw folder, but here you have a cust folder as well, raw/cust. So what this get metadata should do is, for me, it should get me the files. See here, type is file. Type is file it is showing. See, name equal to cust1.csv, type is file, name equal to cust2.csv, type is file. Because under cust folder, now you pass the cust folder to this get metadata activity, and you asked this get metadata to fetch the files that are there under a cust folder. Got it? So who passed this cust folder from master pipeline to here? So execute pipeline activity basically pass the child pipeline. It pass the subfolder value to the child pipeline. Now you have a cust folder. You use that cust folder name in the get metadata activity and fetch all the files that you have. So now you have files. What you can do now, you need to iterate through file, one by one file you need to take. So which activity you are going to use to iterate through the files? For each again. So now you use another for each. It will basically take the file names this time. So those file names you know already how to pass it to the copy activity using dataset parameters. Then at output side, you can rename those files as per your understanding, as per your wish, and you can copy into the target. So once you are done with the customer, then next one is EMP. Then it will become a EMP1.csv, type is file, EMP2.csv, the type is file, something like that. Okay, then again employee files will be iterate through this for each, and employee files will be passed one by one to the copy activity. Copy activity is going to copy one by one file into the target. Now here you need to understand two things. How to pass values from one pipeline to another pipeline is one of the very important thing. Second thing is, if something is not working, for each inside another for each not working, switch inside switch is not working, until inside until is not working, until inside for each is not working, for each inside until is not working. Example, in all these scenarios, how you need to approach, because you will get to know all these scenarios. Tomorrow also we are going to see one more scenarios similar to this, but tomorrow scenario is a little bit complex. I need to take more time tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow scenario is basically that is complete one of my sprint, 2 weeks whatever I delivered. So that thing I'm going to explain in tomorrow. Okay, very important tomorrow. Okay, we'll see. So but ultimately, see, first you pass the cost. See here, first you pass cost, next you pass the for EMP, next you pass the transaction, and so on. You can pass and you can call as many times as you want this child pipeline based on the number of folders that you have in the raw folder. Clear? Any doubts in this? If you are clear, half an hour is completed. We can do the lab in next 30 minutes. Clear?
Malaya, suppose I had one more folder within that, so it will take another get metadata.
Where?
Inside the second folder hierarchy.
If we have the subfolders again, yeah, you have to go with again one more. Okay. Clear? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Malaya. Yeah.
Yes.
Hello. Yeah,
Yes.
in case if I have a tons of folders, so do I need to go with the 10 get metadata like that?
These are invalid scenarios. First thing is, so the question for your question, the answer is very simply yes, but that is not the actual scenario that is going to happen. Okay, so some of the folders are hard-coded folders. Hard-coded folder means raw is the folder that is dummy. So example, when you have a subfolder of 100, what happens? Global/India/customer data, global slash what is that? Global/India/EMP data, global/India/transaction data. Meaning here global and India, those are common folders. So when you have a common folders, you no need to iterate through. You can hard code at the beginning itself. Let me tell you the approach. So you people are thinking different way. I'll tell you. Here, why I said only raw folder we need to hard code at the first activity, first get metadata, because under raw the folder names are keep changing. That's why. So but in real time, what happens if you are processing? So projects will be done by region, right? So in your first project you are doing for India. So then global/India will be there. Under India you will have a cost. So under India you have a EMP. So under India you have a transaction. Now what you can do? So if you see a raw, instead of raw here, global and India both are same. So you just focus till here. You put here. So now what happens? Global/India. Under that, whatever folders we have, it will give you cost EMP transaction. It will give you, because all these are under India folders. You no need to say under global what all folders are there, India, UK, US, you take, and then if you want to proceed like that also you can proceed. But the real-time folder structure is, most of the folder structures, the high-level folder structure will be similar. Okay, so global is the same one, India is the same one. Under India you want to process your data, so till here you can hard code and you can take all the subfolders. Okay.
Okay.
Clear?
Thank you, Malaya. Yeah, thank you.
Folder as 2022 Jan date, 2021 Jan date, files 1.csv. Yeah, in this case also, see all these scenarios, if you can think little bit, you will come to know. So in this case also, we no need to create a multiple subfolders. we can simply create very few folders. So there is a copy behavior. Basically, if you want to simply copy all these things into the target, you will have a copy behavior. You just focus on the raw folder. Under raw folder, you have India, UK, cust, EMP, whatever folder structure is there, same folder structure it will create, it will copy into the target. Okay. So that copy behaviors we will discuss, because most of the people are asking that questions, but in real time there is no use of those things. But as you people are, most of you are focused on those things, we will discuss that. Okay.
Malay, like one
Yeah.
question in regards to the files that we place in blob folder. So in real time, do we place like in blob?
No. See, always remember this is a training. In the training, somebody will not put the files in the blob storage for us. But in real time, there are some jobs which put the data into the blob storage. Maybe those pipelines also you might have created. Those are on-premise to cloud data ingestion jobs, which basically brings data from on-premise to cloud. But in on-premise, who is going to put the data? That is, client will bring the data from the web applications. Web application means, so from the net banking example, I'll just log into my net banking. I'll make a transaction where my transaction data will store. So some SQL database. Okay, some database that transactions data, everything they are going to store it. So that's how they are going to collect the data. Once they collected the data, I can just take that data into the cloud and I can process it. You take any, not only financial domain, you talk about a travel domain, you book a ticket, where this data will store in some database. That's how client is going to receive the data into the on-premise. Our goal is we need to ingest the data from on-premise to cloud. Once the data is available in the cloud, we need to transform the data. Clear?
Yeah, clear. But when you write the files like into blob, do you write like based on timestamps, like just by dates? Let's say.
That is depends. So some people, what they wanted to do is they want to maintain the file names as a some date. Okay, so just to identify this particular file came on this day. Some people will change the entire approach. Approach means, so here if you see Mahesh has mentioned something, year, month, day wise they'll create a subfolder. So today date file will be there under a that folder structure. So let me show you here. So folder structure, what happens in some cases, so global slash UK or let's say India slash cust slash, if it is a 2022 06 23 data, it will be there under this folder. 24th data will be there under 24th folder and so on. But some people, what they will do, they will put all the data under cust folder only. In this case, they wanted to make sure this file date is 0623.csv. Okay. So that is all depends on how they are designing their architecture. Clear?
Yeah, clear. But in the first scenario, like when you have some time, like can you try to create blob storage in that fashion and like try to load?
First thing is, blob storage is a flat file structure. This is not recommended to create these many subfolders in the blob storage. Okay, so this thing we need to do it in a data lake storage into. So I'll show you very simple. This I'll show you today itself. Okay, maybe once we completed the lab, I'll show you how you can able to create this folder structure. Very simple.
Okay, thank you, Malay.
No problem. So let's start. Okay, storage account. Once we finish the lab, we'll discuss other questions. Create the storage account quickly. Cloud Pandit iPhone RG. Okay. Storage account name I'll say Cloud Pandit ADLS 2406. Advanced. So we need to enable hierarchy namespace. But he had a issue, right? So all these options were checked. When these options were checked, he had the issue. But we will see. Because earlier we have not touched this data protection and all those options. But if we also face the issue, we will create one more storage. So if we are getting issue means that is the issue with the data, maybe the policies of data lake storage Gen 2, they might have changed in the backend because this is cloud. So overnight they can make any changes. Okay, we need to adapt those changes. That's all. So, but I'm not very sure is that issue for everybody or only for him. Okay, Condra has issue today, right? So we'll check is that issue existed for us also. Cloud Pandit, PDF 2406, Git configuration, configure it later, retrieve plus create. Click create, okay? So storage account is created. Now I'm creating ADF. Hello, yeah. So now you see this is the data factory. Now you just open Azure Data Factory. How many linked services I need to move data from raw folder to the refined folder in same storage?
One, sir.
Only one, okay, very good. So now data factory is opening. Now come to manage tab, click new linked service. So now you can see your SQL database, data lake to Gen 2, okay, data lake to Gen 2, ls underscore PDL Gen 2. Let's see subscription, storage account name is the one which we created. The connection is successful. So in our case, we don't have any issue, but maybe he has some issue with this subscription or something. Okay, but in our case, we are not getting any issue. Okay, just wait. Fine. So the linked service is created. Now come to author tab. So first, let's focus on the master pipeline. Okay, pipeline name is this is a master PL underscore master. Okay, PL is nothing but a pipeline underscore master. Master is nothing but a master pipeline. So what is first activity? Get metadata activity. What is the get metadata activity can do? Get metadata activity can able to bring all the child items. It can also check folder is existed or not, a file, a table is existed or not. What is the folder name? The type of the object, is it a type of the object, is a file or folder? When this particular folder is modified, everything it can get it for us. Now let's click on settings. We need to create a, so first thing, this is our you can say parent get metadata. Okay, parent get metadata activity. Now just click new settings. Now Gen 2 storage, go here. Oh sorry, first thing is we need to set up the folder structure in the data lake storage. We come to container, sorry, let's create the folder structure here. So folder structure is raw, and you have a refined. So refined we will not touch at all. So subfolders, whatever is required, everything will be created at runtime. Now inside raw, we will create a folders like 2020. What we need to do, we need to create a cust folder. We need to create a EMP folder. We need to create a transaction folder. Just create something. Under cust folder, I'm just uploading some files. Just take anything, not a problem. Okay. First 5 to first 8 I'll take. 3 files I'm just uploading into the cust. Go to EMP, upload any files in the EMP as well. Okay. So employee 1, employee 2 dot CSV, I'm just upload. Go back, come to transaction. In the transaction, I'll upload result 1.csv and the result 2.csv sample. So whatever files you want to upload, you can upload. No problem. Okay. Now you have a raw folder. Under raw folder, see raw is considered as a box. Under box, we have again a folders. Folders you consider as a packet, chocolate packets as I said. Under each packet, we have a files. Files is nothing but chocolates. Simple example. Okay. Now I'll point my data set, my first get metadata data set to raw folder. I will ask the child items. What are the child items we have here? First EMP transaction. Okay. Now you come here. So I'm just explaining you again from the beginning. So this is a master pipeline I created. In master pipeline, first activity I'm bringing is get metadata activity, which should bring me the subfolders that are there under RAF container. So for that, click new data set for the data lake store gen 2. Then it's a CSV. You take anything basically ADLS gen 2 get metadata 1. Okay, so this is a first get metadata activity. So this is the linker service. So which folder we need to hard code? Only raw. Raw is something you need to hard code, but the subfolders that you have is going to come in dynamically. How? So first is @check, click OK. Now first let's try to understand what is the capabilities of the get metadata activity. Get metadata activity can able to do a lot of things. Not that. What I wanted to show you is here you just click. So here you can see first it can able to bring the child items. Next it can check whether folder is existed or not. It will tell you the folder name. It will tell you the type, is it a folder or type. Then it will tell you when it is modified. So all these 5 you can able to check it for the raw folder. Let's check, debug it. We already used get metadata to check whether table is existed or not, isn't it? See in the output. So exist, raw folder is existed, yes, true. What is the folder name? Raw. Is it a type, is a file or folder? Folder. When it is modified, today only 211, it is in UTC, it will give you. Okay. Child items. What are the child items we have? So one of the item is cust, type is folder. Second one is EMP, it's a folder. Transaction is a again folder. Okay. So these are kind of a chocolate packets. We got it. We opened the raw and we are able to get the subfolders. Now these are items 1, 2, and 3. These are the items from the 1 second. Okay, now copy to clipboard. Through item name raw, item type folder, everything you got it. Okay, now out of which what information we really required? What information we really required? This
Child
cust
items, name.
transaction, meaning
Folders.
these items we need these items. So to get these items, what I need to do? At the ready activity of get metadata output dot child items. So to which activity I need to pass this? For each. Come to settings. Sequential, one by one I want to go. Add dynamic content. So get metadata activity exist child items. Search child items. See activity of get metadata 1 output dot child items. Click OK. Clear? Any questions still? Any questions still here? Okay, fine. Now I'm going inside for each one. Here, let's try to use a one more for each. Where is one more for each? No, it is not showing because for each inside for each is not going to work. That's why another for each is not showing. Clear? Clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Now what is the approach? Click new here, new pipeline. One more pipeline you create here. Okay. So here you can say PL underscore. Please be in mute from some child voice appearing. Okay. Please go mute. There is disturbance. You need to identify these people. These people will not understand by themselves. Okay, so see here PL underscore child. PL underscore child means it's a child pipeline. Okay, in this child pipeline, what we need to do to the child pipeline, we need to pass the subfolder name to the child pipeline. Clear to all of you? We need to pass the subfolder name to the child pipeline. How to pass value or value from one pipeline to another pipeline is first you need to create a pipeline parameter. See, this is a child pipeline. In this, you see a new parameter. Pipeline parameter you need to create PL underscore parameter for folder name, or you can say subfolder. Okay, clear? How you are passing the value from master pipeline to child pipeline using the pipeline parameter. So come to master pipeline, very carefully observe your execute pipeline activity. I'm calling inside for each. So I need to pass here child pipeline. When I just selected child pipeline, when I'm calling child pipeline, immediately there is a parameter is opened because this parameter value is very important for the child pipeline. So how to pass this particular subfolder, this pipeline parameter value? How to pass it? Any guesses? You are inside for each. Inside for each means for each has items. So from these items, what value you want to pass it to this parameter?
Item dot name.
Dot child item.
Item dot name.
Item dot child items.
No. What child items? Child items already you have passed to the for each. So for each will give one by one item. This item it will give first. Next it will give this item. Next it will give this item. So from this item, what you need to pass it to the sub pipeline? This cost value you need to pass. How you will pass in this entire item? I need a name. Name is nothing but a cost will go. Okay. Click add dynamic content. For each dot name. Click OK. How many of you understood till here? Everybody is clear till here or not?
Can you repeat the ones, Malia?
So I created a child pipeline. Okay, I'm just deleting this. I'll show you. Okay, I'm just deleting this also. So very simple. First approach is everybody's clear. Get metadata, which is giving me all these child items. Okay, so these child items I pass to the for each activity. Child items. So inside for each, so for each will give one by one item. So this item it will give first. Next to this item it will give. Next to this item it will give. So in these items, what you need to pass is you need to pass a subfolder name. Like first you need to pass cost. Next you need to pass EMP. Next you need to pass transaction. I will pass these names. I will pass these names to the sub pipeline. Create a sub pipeline first. Name it as a PL underscore child. So in this PL underscore child, you create a pipeline parameter to receive the subfolder name. PL underscore param for subfolder. So whenever somebody is calling this pipeline, they must pass the value for this parameter. Now you see, come to master pipeline. Inside for each, I'm using the sub pipeline settings. Select this child pipeline. When you pass this, immediately it asking the value. So how you will pass this value? You are inside a for each. For each has all these items. First for each will take this item. In this item I need to pass cost. How to pass the cust value from this item dot
Name.
item dot
Name.
okay, simple. Item dot name you need to give, so that this subfolder name will be available at the child pipeline. Clear now? So now cust folder name, EMP name, folder name, or transaction name, where you will where that name is available at the pipeline. At pipeline parameter, that value will be available. Okay, so this pipeline parameter will get the subfolder name. Whenever you need a subfolder name, what you need to use? So everybody has to tell. Whenever I need a subfolder name, what you need to use? Pipeline parameter. Whenever you need a subfolder name, whenever you need a subfolder name, what you need to use?
Pipeline parameter.
Okay. Everybody should remember. Say I'm going to ask in the middle, you should not confuse. Whenever we need a subfolder name, what you will use?
Pipeline parameter.
Pipeline parameter. Okay, very good. Now use one more get metadata activity. Okay, what this get metadata activity should do is, see, come to settings, click new. It is basically point to the subfolders one by one. How? First, Gen2 storage, CSV, get metadata 2 is the linked service, hard code, the raw folder, but subfolder names I need to pass it dynamically to this data set. How to pass some value dynamically to data set? Okay, suppose, see, this is the data set. I want to pass subfolder name dynamically. What you will do?
Adding dynamic content.
What? Dynamic content.
Parameters.
Yeah.
First you need to create a data set parameter ds param underscore subfolder. Okay, so this you need to use where? Here. Okay, now you go to child pipeline. Now child pipeline is waiting for this value. From where you will pass the subfolder name to dataset parameter. Where you have the subfolder name.
Pipeline parameter.
Pipeline
Now
parameter.
I asked multiple
Get
times.
metadata.
You have that value already available at the pipeline parameter. See, PL param. So from pipeline parameter, you are passing that subfolder to here. That subfolder, dataset parameter value you are using here. Meaning now raw/cust it will become first. Next it will become raw/emp. Next it will become raw/transaction. So in the child item, what you want to do now under raw/cust, can you give me the child item? Under raw/cust, whatever child items we have, can you give it to me? Yes. Let me publish all. Let me run the pipeline. Because when you have a multiple pipelines, debug and all will not show you proper result. Proper result means it will not display all activities output here. That's why you need to trigger to show each and everything. Now I'm repeating again. How many times child pipeline will be called from master pipeline? Prithvi?
Three times.
Three times. There
Okay,
are three folders.
okay. Now trigger now. Click oh, what I made mistake is child pipeline I ran. That is mistake. You should not run child pipeline. Okay, child pipeline should be called directly from the
Master pipeline.
it is already succeeded also. Nothing is going to happen. Okay, just leave it. Now master pipeline. So add trigger now. Click OK. Now come to monitor tab. The master pipeline is executed. See manual trigger. Who triggered? Manual trigger. But this master pipeline will call the child pipeline now. One time for first folder, second time for second folder. Okay. Next third time for the third folder. Now let's go to the first child. What is the output of this get metadata? Can you check here? Cust5.csv, cust6.csv. cust8.csv. What are these? Type is files. But to this get metadata, what is the value is passed dynamically? We'll see that. Is there any way? See the pipeline parameter, sorry, dataset parameter, what value we passed here? Cust. That's why under cust, whatever files are there, those files it is bringing. Again, just copy to this clipboard, put them here. Now again, what we have? We have a child items. Now in the sub pipeline, what we have? We have folders or files. In the sub pipeline, what we have? Child
Files.
pipeline. Again, files
We
you
have
have. So you have multiple files. What you do? You need to iterate through those files again. You need to iterate through those files. So can you tell me the dynamic content to pass those files to the for each activity?
Item dot file name. Item dot.
item dot name, sir. Or not name. Well, another thing. Another parameter.
After I explain this much, people are answering. Get metadata is giving the child item. Child items. What you will have here? Child items we have. How to pass it to the for each?
Activity of get metadata.
Activity get metadata. Output dot items.
Settings, add dynamic content. So now you see get metadata, child items you need to pass. Child items means files will be passed here. All these child items. This is item 1. This is item 2. So item 3. 3 items will pass from the cust folder. So now inside for each, what you need to use?
Copy.
Copy activity.
What copy activity will do? It will copy one by one file. How? You can use a same data set that you used here, which is basically take the subfolder. But I also need a one more parameter. Sorry, this will not work. Okay, let's create a new data set for source. Let me repeat this point again. So I'm basically taking the copy data activity, which requires source and sync data set. Let's create a source data set. This is the linked service. Okay, browse it, select this raw folder, click OK. Subfolders we need to pass it dynamically. Okay, click OK. Now go to source data set. So I need to take two things. One is subfolder, second one is the file name. So how many parameters we need?
Two parameters.
Two.
So this subfolder you need to select here. File name you need to select here. Okay. Now come to child pipeline. How to pass this subfolder name?
Subfolder will be the pipeline one and file name will be child name dot file.
See, pipeline parameter will be available. You can directly pass it. But file name, how to pass it? So copy activity is there under for each. For each is having already these file names items. So now if I want to pass first to file, what I need to do?
Item dot name.
Item dot
Item dot name, simple, because you are inside the for each. Item dot name. That's all. Clear? So that's why I'm giving you simple example. There is a chocolate box. You open, given the chocolate packets. One packet is given to the sub pipeline. First packet is taken. From the first packet, it took all the chocolates given to for each. For each is giving the chocolates to this copy activity. So here you are giving the chocolate. Here you are giving the packet name. So packet name is coming from the pipeline parameter. Chocolate name is coming from the for each, because for each has that chocolate names. The reason is this second get metadata basically open the chocolate packet and given to the for each. Clear? I'm not sure how many of you are able to understand. Come to see.
In existing data set, we can modify it. Why we created
So we have two different. What you want to do? So this
one
is a
more
raw
parameter we can.
sync set refined folder you need to pass. You can use same data set, but you need to parameterize everything in that case. Okay.
Okay.
So use data extract gen to CSV. This is a linker service. See, now browse it. Select a refined, not a raw. So if you can customize this also dynamically, if you can pass, then you can use the same data set. Whoever understood that approach, they can go with that approach. Okay. So because everybody cannot understand everything if I do everything dynamic now. DS param for subfolder. File name. So come to connection. Come here. Add dynamic content. So this is the subfolder name. This is the file name. Clear? How to pass these things? How to pass the subfolder name?
Pipeline.
Five times I asked. This is the time I'm asking. The pipeline parameter. From pipeline parameter, you need to pass the subfolder name. So file name, from where you will get it? From this item.
Item dot name.
Item dot name. But if you give item dot name, you are copying file as it is. But what else we want to copy? What we want to
append
Date as well.
Yes, we need to append the date to it. So I'll tell you now. Carefully observe here, very important. So if you're not able to get this, I cannot help you. Okay, so there is a split function. What split will do? Rama dot Krishna. If I say like this, if I just split it based on a dot, it will give you two items. Rama, Krishna. So now in this, I need what? I need only Rama, then I can take Rama using the of 0. Of 0 means 0th index. Okay, if you need Krishna, you need to give 1 like this. Now, in this item.name means it will give you file names cust1.csv. So now if I need to split this, split off this cust1.csv based on the dot. When I split it, it will give me two items. What are those? First one, second one is CSV. Okay. Now out of this, once I split it, it is giving like this. I need what? I need only, so in this, I need only what? 0th item, meaning only cust1 I need, only file name. That's why I'll just say of 0. Now cust1.csv, how the cust1.csv will come? Cust1.csv will come from this item. Okay, item.name means cust1.csv first time, next cust2.csv, cust3.csv, cust10.csv. Anything may come, out of which I'm splitting and I'm taking only the file name extension I am ignoring using this formula. How many of you understood? I'm taking only the file name, I'm ignoring the extension. Clear? Everybody's clear?
Yes.
Next thing is you need to get a date. Okay, anybody remember? I'm not sure. Format date.
Format.
There is a format.
UTC
So somebody like today also
UTC now.
got it, right? So UTC now you can just generate. Okay, UTC now. Just generate UTC now. How you want UTC now? I want UTC now in YYY.
YY, MM, DD.
So this basically gives me the 2022 06 24. Okay. At the end, I need a .csv. So that now you see, you splitted here with the help of this. You took the what? You took what? File name. You got the date here. At the end, you are adding the .csv. Now I need to combine all these because here I have a cust1 example. It may be cust2, cust3, it will vary. Here we have a date 2022-06-24. So in the third, I have a .csv. Now what I need to do, my final file should be cust1 2022-06-24.csv, meaning I need to combine these three. Anybody have any idea how to combine these three? Concat, very
Concat.
Anywhere you go, there is a concat. Okay, so you need to just use this. Is the first item in the concat, comma. This is the second item. Finally, .csv. So
We can use the first parameter also, right? Here. Here first is the file name and array 0 is the file name and first is the file extension CSV. The file is in different format. We can use the first parameters, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Very good. So if the file is in a different file format, so you can, instead of hard coding this, so what you can do of first one. Very good. That's all. Right. Okay. That's all. Unrecognized one item. So you should not put anything.
Format should be at the rate.
Not record. Okay. Everything will go now. So everything is fine. Okay. Now click OK. So I'll just share this.
We need to include
dot actually .csv. It will come like the CSV. You missed, I think.
Correct. Good. So you need to put a dot, right? So for that you can simply put one more single quotes and dot. You can add it. Okay. Click OK. Now publish on. Everybody understood that formula? So just check that formula. Now debug. Sorry, don't debug anything. Master pipeline, you directly trigger it. Okay, trigger now. So before that, in the in refined, let's see, is there anything in the refined? Okay, nothing is there in the refined. Okay, what will happen now? We'll see. So master pipeline is started running. It will call the child pipeline. So first child pipeline. So inside child pipeline, you see 3 times copy activity is going to run. So this get metadata, child get metadata, receive the cust. Under cust, all the subfolders, it is subfiles. The cust file 5.csv, cust6.csv, cust8.csv took. Even to the ForEach. ForEach is copying one by one of those files. See, first file is copied. You should be able to see under cust. You should be able to see cust5 2022-06-24.csv, cust6 2022-06-24.csv, cust8 2022-06-24.csv. Okay, these 3 files are completed for the cust. Refresh this. Next child pipeline will be called again. The first child pipeline is still in progress. See, first child pipeline is completed for the cust. Next child pipeline is called for the next value. What is that? You can see here. This is basically employee. So you come to the refined folder, refresh this. Yes, you need to just change some more things. UTC you need to convert into IST. Recently I have shown to somebody in our training only. Refined. Tested. Fine. So, but child item is succeeded second time also. Refresh this. See, 3 times child pipeline is called and 3 times it is succeeded. So master pipeline status is also succeeded. So who called this child pipeline? You see triggered by. So triggered by inner activity, like this master pipeline, execute pipeline activity is called. This is the activity ID. Okay. So which what is the value we passed? We can see for child pipeline first cust. For child pipeline next we passed EMP. For child pipeline next we passed transaction. Okay, see under EMP you will be able to see this employee file scheme. Under transaction you should be able to see result 1, result 2 sample. Clear? Any questions?
Malia, can you go to that concat string?
Yes,
Yeah, in this concat string, we have written like item dot name of 0 index and at 1 index, but we haven't used here @item. So when to remember, like when not to use @.
Whenever you are using a entire dynamic content, one @ is enough. When you're using multiple formulas, one @ is enough. Okay.
Okay, but last time we have used right @item and where we have used curly braces for multiple values.
Multiple values. Huh? No, this is a dynamic content. See here you are using multiple functions, split, concat, all these things. With these functions, you cannot use the @ multiple times. You have to use only one time.
Okay.
There we are not using the functions at all. Okay. Item.name, item.schema, those all things we are just using those item values. Here these items we are using with the functions. So you can able to only one set the rate. Okay. Next. Next, any questions? If no questions, then thank you all. Thank you. That's all.